Okay, we've got to reverse the polarity of the neutron.
Yeah, we reverse that. Okay, we meet.
Are we in Pittsburgh yet?
Oh,
that's your line.
Yeah, that's
oh,
right.
yeah, okay, so it's
Right.
your line. Go ahead, John.
You're gonna cue?
Yes, it's your line. Go.
What? Are we in Pittsburgh yet, TJ?
Yes, yes, we're here.
We
John.
are in Pittsburgh. Good evening, everybody.
John Levene.
TJ Lubinsky.
Oh, wow.
Well,
Great.
This is wonderful.
Didn't have you here in Pittsburgh.
Well, I must be honest, we arrived at the airport. We flew TWA. We found out what that stands for, by the way. It's try walking across. And Mr. Rogers sent a car for me, but it missed. No, it's wonderful to be here. Wonderful to be in Pittsburgh. I love the way Pittsburgh's laid out. I don't know when it died, but I love the way it's laid out.
Listen to John. Okay, this is our Doctor Who night, and we are so privileged because last week we had Martin Jarvis here. This week we have the incredible man who had the privilege of working with Patrick Troughton, with John Pertwee, and with Tom Baker, and of course all the other doctors throughout all the years and the conventions and all the appearances and all the special television shows you've done and outside. This is John Anthony Blake, as we call him now. You know him as John Levene, Sergeant Benton from Doctor Who.
Thank you, thank you.
So nice to have you here.
Yeah,
Now, John, the reason we're here tonight is because we took a risk on this program a couple of years ago. We came to Pittsburgh and we said, hey, if you want to see the great adventures of Doctor Who, then we need your money so we can bring it back because the BBC charges us $400 for every half hour of the show.
Yes.
So that's why we're here tonight. We're going to have a little mini marathon of The Mind of Evil, and you'll be coming up in this episode shortly.
Oh, yes, I will.
You're here to talk to fans. You'll actually get on the phones and you'll talk to fans.
Oh, I'd love to.
tonight.
Oh, gosh, yes, I'd love to.
So right now, it's your cue to go to the phone and let us know that you want to see Doctor Who each and every week at 621-5808, 1-800-232-8813. When you do, an autographed copy signed by John Levene of The Mind of Evil, all 6 parts, the story you're watching tonight, complete without pledge breaks. When you call right now, the number on your screen, 621-5808. 1-800-232-8813. And John's going to go over and talk to Linda shortly and also take your phone calls. Here it is, Doctor Who fans. Do you think that we need to continue with the series? The renewal for the episodes is about to come up for us. So far, we've brought you all the great Tom Baker episodes, starting with Robot, all the way through to the Key to Time series. We're going to be moving into the final series shortly. Right now, we're finishing up the Key to Time series. Then comes that the great series where you had the Destiny of the Daleks and City of Death, The Creature from the Pit, Nightmare of Eden, Horrors of Night, and all that stuff. We're moving to the final episodes of Tom Baker, and we'd like to go back to John Pertwee next. Whether we can do that or not depends on you. Right now, we're looking for your pledge of support, 621-5808. Do you want to see Doctor Who continue each and every week? We're counting on you tonight. This is our Festival 2001, the time when we come to you and get money from our members. John Levene is here. He will autograph copies of the tape tonight. That $100 goes to pay for the episodes. Pick up the phone, make your pledge right now. Let's go to John and Linda.
Well, first of all, I just want to thank TJ for loaning me his tie, which is why he hasn't got one. So thank you very much, TJ. Hello, Linda.
I'm so glad you're here. It's delighted to be able to meet you, and delighted to be able to welcome you, our viewers, to the studio. As you can see, we have some science fiction fans waiting to answer the phone, and I think that's one of the really neat things about Doctor Who is that, you know, it's science fiction or is it fact, and it just opens up the child in all of us.
Yes,
and I bet you, as the inside being on all those shows, it must have been such a wonderful treat.
Well, as they say in England, as a child of my time, imagine when I was a young actor in London, and suddenly this director named Douglas Camfield said, we're looking for a new character in Doctor Who called Secret Agent Benton. And I ended up in the BBC in the Blue Studio and ended up doing Doctor Who for 7 years. I believe that outer space is almost inner space. It wasn't that I was a science fiction fan before I went in the show, but it proved to us the possibilities. Carl Sagan, he should have been maybe the president of America instead of that gentleman we have at the moment. But, you know, space travel and everything, we now know it's right on our doorstep. We're going to the moon as soon as you like.
And I know that Pittsburgh prides itself in being sort of a technology hotbed, and that's one of the reasons I think that Doctor Who is still on. It's only on 8 stations here around the country, but there's a lot of great minds here that like to watch Doctor Who, and not to say that, you know, ordinary people like myself don't enjoy it just as much, but we think that it's really a special thing about Pittsburgh that we can bring Doctor Who, and we're delighted that we can bring you too to really talk to people about how important it is to join.
First of all, Doctor Who broadens the mind. I mean, Star Trek, all of these science fiction shows, they allow all of us, like the people that are ringing right now, thank you very much, Is it my mother? No, she usually phones when I'm on these shows. The whole thing of being in any science fiction show is really, it's our privilege to come along here, because there are a lot of people out there I know that there's so much violence, and although Doctor Who has violence, you notice that it's done in a kind of way that, well, I don't know, Doctor Who should just live forever. Maybe that's what should happen.
Okay, now, we have just about 6 minutes remaining in this membership opportunity for you to make sure that the Doctor stays on your screens. Only you can keep the TARDIS materialized right now. John Levene is here. We are live in the studios. John Levene will take your phone call after you make a pledge. You have to call and make a pledge first. Think about all the great episodes that we have brought you here at WQED, starting with Robot all the way through to the Key to Time series. Right now, we're working on our next purchase of episodes, and I'm ready to go to the BBC and sign the new contract. I can't do it unless I have your pledge of support. That $100 right now will allow us to buy 1/4 of an episode of Doctor Who. Costs us $400 every time we play a half-hour episode of the series. Won't you please right now go to your phone, make a pledge of support so we can keep the episodes coming your way. When we talk about John Levene and some of his great stories, you know, it starts with Terror of the Autons, and we brought you that in color here at WQED for the first time. We move into the Mind of Evil and the Claws of Axos and the Daemons and Day of the Daleks and all these great stories, the Sea Devils, and of course we move into Invasion of the Dinosaurs. Great episodes will come your way. We hope to bring you all the John Pertwee episodes, starting with Spearhead from Space, Silurians, Ambassadors of Death, Inferno, Terror of the Autons, Mind of Evil, Claws of Axos, The Colony in Space, The Daemons, Day of the Daleks, Curse of Peladon, The Sea Devils, The Mutants, The Time Monster, The Three Doctors, The Carnival of Monsters, Frontier in Space, The Planet of the Daleks, Green Death, Time Warrior, Invasion of the Dinosaurs, Death of the Daleks, Monster of Peladon, Planet of the Spiders. Together, it's 124 half-hour episodes, and we would like to bring them your way. However, if we're going to be able to do that, if we're going to be able to go directly to the BBC, we need your dollars. We have 4 minutes remaining in this membership opportunity. Your chance right now, live, to talk to John Levene, to put your money behind the program. If we don't have your dollars, the show goes away. You've been great to us in the past few weeks. We need you to be great for us tonight. $100, autographed copy, the episode you're watching tonight, complete in its entirety, The Mind of Evil. Great John Pertwee story. Let's go back to John and Linda.
And tell me, what was it like to be Sergeant John Benton?
Well, I mean, first of all, TJ knows, I wish the BBC could get hold of him. He seems to remember more about Doctor Who than any of us. What was it like to play Sergeant John Benton? Well, first of all, as an actor, you obviously want to get work. But imagine then getting that work and ending up with such a good character as Benton. One of my biggest fears when I was an actor is that I would be given a script where I would have to betray the Doctor. And although I'm a little old-fashioned these days, I have a very strong loyalty factor in my whole system, and I cannot break my word. I mean, as a human being, not just as an actor. And I remember that when I got Benton, so wonderful was the part, and so supportive were all the characters around him. John Pertwee, if ever I ad-libbed, he never, although he had an ego to fight, he never stopped a good ad-lib coming in. And so when you see the John Pertwee era of UNIT, we used to call ourselves the Famous Five. The friendship thing was a genuine thing. We used to go out in the evening together. Katie Manning, who played Jo Grant, came to stay with us. My birthday's Christmas Eve, and she came over to stay with us Christmas Eve. She's living in Los Angeles, too. So in answer to your question, playing Sergeant Benton allowed me all my childhood dreams, and it also allowed me to spark the dreams in other children. For what it's worth, if any of you children are out there, just always dream.
And we have a dream of bringing you all the available episodes of Doctor Who. We can do that with your pledge of support, starting with those great William Hartnell stories, 5 surviving Patrick Troughton stories available to us, all those John Pertwee episodes, the great Tom Baker episodes, just wrapping up the Key to Time series, moving into Peter Davison, Colin Baker, Sylvester McCoy. They're available to us, and we're willing to make the purchase. We're willing to make it happen, but we can't do it without the dollars. You know, it's interesting that when John Pertwee's episodes first came over here in America, 1976 was the first time it was distributed to commercial television, and it only lasted for 6 months before it was pulled from syndication. And the reason for that is because the episodes could not bring in the kind of ratings that the advertisers required. A few years later, Tom Baker's episodes came over, and it was syndicated to commercial stations, but eventually, after the first 4 runs, the ratings kind of died out, and the show died out, and it wasn't until public television started picking up the classic episodes that we were able to get into that great catalog from William Hartnell and Patrick Troughton and John Pertwee, and of course, moving into Peter Davison, Colin Baker, and Sylvester McCoy. We have 2 minutes remaining right now in this membership opportunity for you to go to the phone and make your pledge of support in the next 2 minutes. Do you want to see Doctor Who continue? Then you need to make your pledge. By the way, you've heard about the Starship Club. Starship Club is $250 when you join at that level. That's how you get your name listed before and after the episode each and every week, plus the special gift that we're offering tonight, Mind of Evil. This is 2 VHS tapes, 6 episodes, complete from the Master Films. Unfortunately, this is one of those John Pertwee stories that was originally done on color videotape, and because the BBC was careless with their tapes, they lost it, and only film exists. And we have copies of the film available on videotape for you right now when you make your pledge. 621-5808. 1 minute and 30 seconds remaining in this membership opportunity. Go to the phone, make your pledge. I guess we'll go to John now.
Okay. Oh, I've changed. Well, I guess, Linda, you're talking about the doctor. I went to my doctor the other day, and I said I've broken my arm in several places. And he said, well, stop going to those places.
There's still some time to call the number on your screen to
It's
become a member.
621-5808. That's a very Pittsburgh number, that, isn't it? Well, ladies and gentlemen, if you want to call, just remember, Mind of Evil is one of those fabulous stories set in a prison in the south of England. And my character had to scale the wall of a genuine prison there. And you'll see it on the last episode, and it's quite good.
And they are autographed. John Levene is here autographing. And so that is only available by calling and becoming a member of WQED.
And I will speak to you if you, sorry, but I will phone. If you phone and ask to speak to me, I'd love to talk to you on the phone. Wouldn't we, Linda?
We sure will. And becoming a member of WQED ensures that you'll be supporting Doctor Who all year round. The episodes, about $400 an episode. It's not cheap, but we know that you enjoy it. We're one of the few stations in the country that will bring Doctor Who to you. So now is the time for you to call and grab your credit card. It'll make it that much easier for you. You'll become an instant member of WQED. Keep Doctor Who alive. It's such fun, and it's the only place you're going to see it.
Prefer to mail in your contribution, send your check to WQED.